Hey guys, Ronan Will. Today we are going to be painting the last of the troopers. These guys are a little bit more unique. These are the Inquisitors' fifth brother and fourth sister. They are actually the support units in the Inquisitor pack. So right now I'm starting with the fourth sister. She's kind of a very short-lived character. She was in the Kenobi TV show. Excuse me, guys. I'm dealing with a bit of a cold here. Anyway, so that was her first appearance. Was in the Obi-Wan TV series on Disney Plus. Basically, these guys have all the basic same color scheme, which is going to be black, off black, mostly black, or, gunmetal black, with a little bit of white in a couple of different spots. This is the first characters that I actually was working on doing hair, or faces, I should say. I am not a huge fan of how they turned out. Hopefully, as I get better at faces, we will see a marked improvement. Maybe I'll go back to them someday just to clean up the faces on these two. But other than that, yep, like I said, I'm starting with just pure black. This is a matte black from Army Painter. Any basic black will do. So fourth sister, she's a supporting unit. Her character card only is one unit in her group. She's a Force user, Galactic Empire, and an Inquisitor. She can be used during the Galactic Civil War or the Clone Wars. A couple of these units are multi-group now. So, let's take a look. She's got 8 health, 2 stamina. Pretty standard. She has a force jump for 1 force point, allowing her to make a leap. She's got a force pull for 1 force point. Choose a character in this unit and an enemy character within range 3 of the character. Pull the chosen enemy to range 2 towards the chosen allied character. I find that weird since she's only by herself. But I guess maybe that's in case there were multiple characters in a unit that has force pull. I don't know. Enfeeble. I don't know. Again, I haven't studied all the symbols yet, so I'm sorry, guys. But when a character in another allied Inquisitor unit makes an attack as part of a combat action, before dice are rolled, this unit may use its ability. If the targeted character is within range 4 of a character in this unit, the targeted unit gains, I believe that is stagger. So now I moved on and I'm painting the black fabric on fifth brother. Again, just kind of touching up a couple of areas here. Fifth brother actually first premiered in the Rebels TV series, and then again in Obi-Wan. We'll take a look at his card in a few minutes. Let me see here. Inquisitional Mandate is fourth sister's other ability here. When determining control of an active objective that a character in this unit is contesting, if there is a tie, this unit controlling player takes control. So if it's tied, she gets priority. Swift Retreat. When this unit is wounded by an enemy effect, after the effect is resolved, one character in this unit may move. I mean, pretty basic for her. Let's see. Her combat card is Form 2 Mukashi. 0 range, 6 defense on range, 7 melee, and 5 defense on melee. So she's got the melee spinning lightsaber, which for 1 to 2 on not successes. Sorry guys, like I said, this cold is killing me. She gets a crit and then a hit. 3 or more, she gets a crit. I don't know what the little starburst means. And then a hit. So an expertise maybe. Inquisitors training. So 1 to 2, 1 additional defense. 3 or more, 2 additional defense. 2, 3, 4, 5. She has 5 damage that she can do. She does a little bit of damage, nothing crazy. She can do a max of 7 if you manage it. But other than that, that's about it. Oh, I just realized. So it's not a crit and a hit, it's a crit and damage. So if you get 2, she automatically does 2 damage. Automatically does 1 damage. That's interesting. So, alright. Then we'll look at Fifth Brother's card for right now. Fifth Brother, also a support unit. He came with 2 different head sculpts. I went with the animated one. He also has a more realistic one. I like the animated version of him better. So, Fifth Brother has Force Repulse, which costs 2 force power. Choose a character in this unit. Push each other character within range 2 of the chosen character to range 2 away from it. So he can repel people. He's got the force jump as well. Enfeeble. When a character in another allied inquisitional unit makes an attack as part of a combat action before dice is rolled, this unit may use this ability. If the targeted character is within range 4 of the character in this unit, the target unit gains exclamation point. I don't... Again, I'm not 100% sure. For her face, I'm using some Necroflesh to just kind of brighten it up. Again, I think that was part of my mistake. He's got the ability to resolve. While a character in this unit is contesting 1 or more active objectives, it has protect and steadfast. Ooh. Inquisitional mandate, so that's the same as we've seen on her, that if it's a tie goes to the Inquisitor. Galactic Empire, Force User, and Inquisitors. He's a little bit chunkier at 9 health, but only 2 stamina as well. He also uses Form 2 Makashi. Pretty similar, although his defense on his melee is 6 instead of 5. His range is 5, so they kind of flip their defenses. Otherwise, their attacks are the exact same, 0 and 7. He's got Spinning Lightsaber, which does exactly the same as Fourth Sister. And Inquisitor's Training, same as Fourth Sister. Honestly, other than the side effects, not too much else being done there. So at this point I mixed some gunmetal and black to try and give it a nice metallic coloring on any of the armor that she's wearing. Alright, let's take a look at some of the information on these guys. So, Fifth Brother is a humanoid male Inquisitor from the Galactic Empire, several years before Battle of Yavin. He was brought in to hunt down the rebellion against the Empire. Specifically, he was looking for Ezra. Which I find interesting, even though Kaden was the fully trained Jedi, Ezra was like the target for most of these things. So, he ended up, if I remember correctly, he dies at the end of the Rebels series. Let's see. Anything interesting with Fifth Brother? Let's take a look. Force-sensitive member of a family living on the planet Artemis, the Jedi Order promised a meaningful life of grand spectacle and service for the Force before taking him from his family. He would later believe that the Jedi lied to him. He felt they made him serve corporate politics. Okay, so disillusionment with the Jedi Order, which probably helped him fall from the Order. At some points after the reorganization of the Galactic Empire, Republic into the Galactic Empire, willingly joined the Imperial Agency of Force Sensitive, known as the Inquisitors. It had to be fairly recent after that because Order 66 was literally like right after. So Fifth Brother has some very like prominent armor pieces on him, unlike sorry, I think there was like some brush fragments on there. Fifth Brother has a lot more like obvious metallic armor pieces than Fourth Sister. So, out of the two, I think I like his color scheme and everything the best, even though they're basically the same thing. Following the hunt on Chandar's folly, Darth Vader took a team of Inquisitors, including Fifth Brother, on a mission to locate Eve Koth. When Vader and the Inquisitors arrived, they found Koth with his wife, who had just given birth to their daughter. He was assigned along with the other Inquisitors to find the child. As they made their way into the city, Trallon Yaluna asked how they would find the infant, and the Fifth Brother suggested that they split. The three did so. Alright, so, this is just adding some dark tone to it. I'm using a blue toner because since I was going with black armor, I wanted to try and brighten up stuff instead of darkening stuff. I kind of went a little crazy on these guys as well with that. I don't think they turned out that great, to be honest. But, hey, I mean, they're usable. Again, I just have to touch up the face more on both of these guys. I'm trying to look for any other interesting things on him. Honestly, there's not much, like, 9 years before the Battle of Yavin, he was with the Third Sister on Tatooine for dealing with Kenobi situation. I don't know, I'm not going to lie, guys, these guys are not, honestly, units that I'm very interested in. Mostly because they only got a few hours of, like, at most a few hours of screen time. I think, in truth, they've only had, like, together, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Fourth Sister, like I said, was very specifically from the Kenobi show. I'm questioning if she ended up dying, because I do not remember her at all, to be completely honest. Was present along with fifth brother during the infiltration of the fortress Inquisitor by Obi-Wan, but they failed to avoid the escape. What? Failed to avoid the escape. That's bad English. Later, she and a pleased fifth brother witnessed Darth Vader's rage against third sister because the Jedi ran away from the fortress, but the Sith spared her life when it turned out it was a plan for tracking the Jedi and Leia by... Okay, so this was where they were tracking Obi-Wan and Leia by the little droid. Fate of Fourth Sister was ultimately unknown. At some point following a mission to the Outer Rim by members of the Rebel Alliance, the Fourth Sister lost her armor to Rebel Alliance Commander Lena Griff. Other than the fact that the Inquisitor's armor was in Griff's possession, nothing was known about the fate of the Fourth Sister to the wider galaxy. Griff, wearing the Fourth Sister's armor, impersonated her and infiltrated Fortress Vader on Mustafar, where Rebel Lieutenant Thom Hud was being held prisoner by Vader. So not much is known about her. Of course, they both have those really fancy lightsabers. The I don't even know what you would call them. The dual-bladed rotating saber. Double-bladed spinning lightsaber is what the official term, I guess, is called. That's what it says in here. I feel like it's... I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of such a lame name for that. Apparently, she could have had a helmet with a T-shaped visor on it. I think that would have been nice. Made it a little bit more ambiguous, you know. Alright, so here I'm touching up... This is kind of interesting. So I'm doing black in like the more raised areas, and then I'm also using Necro Cloak, which is a slightly more gray black on the raised areas to give it some depth. Yeah, there's, again, because there's not a lot of different colors or anything for these guys, it's hard to really have a lot to say about them, and their history is so short. Like, they only appeared a handful of times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fourth Sister only appeared in 8 forms of media, and 2 of which are audiobooks, so no description on the character. 1, 2, 3. Technically, 4 of these are from the Obi-Wan TV series, which you can honestly just say 1 for all of that. And then it looks like 2 of these are from the same comic series, The Return to Vader's Castle. So, not very much. And then, like I said, fifth brother, he has more, but he's still not very fleshed out, to be honest. He has personality traits, which is better than her. Lightsaber skills, force abilities. They really did flesh this guy out a lot more than her, but still nothing crazy. And a lot of this is just speculation, it looks like. Yeah, he... oh, see, he appeared in a whole bunch of Vader comics as well. Wow. Yeah, he's got a lot of appearances. So... so, as you can see, like, I'm starting to go with the lighter colors. It's just to show how the light would be affecting everything that he's wearing, and to make him not so monochrome. Oh man. They have some quotes with him, but again, I just feel like there's so many more. They could have just done general Inquisitors instead of these specific ones, you know? Sorry guys, I'm just reading through some history stuff on these guys. It's hard. Like I said, there's not a lot to talk about with characters that are so new. I'm sure it does not help that I'm not feeling well, so I kind of just want to sit here quietly while painting. I'm trying to just catch all of the raised areas at this point. So you can see how that toner, the ink, essentially the blue ink, tinted everything. And I like the coloring a lot, but when looking at the concept art for him, it really did not go with his original concept art, which is why I ended up going with more of a black after all of this is said and done. It's interesting. His design, like his outfit, is more designed based off of the live action version of him, but they give you the option to do the cartoon head, which again, that's what I ended up going with, just because I thought it looked a little bit better. So that was some deep blue, and that's getting mixed into the black and the Necro cloak. And this is going to be very much more like a dry brush. So I took off as much paint as I could, just to give it a little bit of a blue tint to him. It will pop a lot more once we get his metal pieces finished. But till then... So these guys took a lot longer than expected, which is why They didn't end up getting posted this week, last week on Friday. But on the plus side, that means you get 2 painting videos on Monday, well, today. And this is one of the 2. The second one is going to be the Rex, Commander Rex, or Captain Rex, not Commander. So I'm back to 4th sister. She is now getting the same treatment with the different tones or the different shades on her raised areas, just to try and give some subtlety to her. And again, this is all Necromancer Cloak. I know this is a very long video, but it's partially because of having to switch between the 2 characters that have 2 completely different color schemes and everything. I was thinking of doing them the same way as all the other trooper units, but to be honest, these are so different. I probably could have broken these down into 2 different videos. Where's the fun of that? Especially since this is the last of the trooper guys that have been released. Starting today, actually, you'll also get to see the painting of the first set of commander units, or secondary units, with Rex, and then Friday will be Cody. So we're getting close to actually being ready to do some basing and all that other fun stuff. Ironically, I think by the time we finish with these sets, it will be time. The new sets will have already come out. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with having to play catch up a little bit. One of the hardest parts at this point, without having a base on these guys, is I have to keep grabbing the model. So I have to be very mindful of how much I'm touching up against the paint jobs. I really have to get some gloves or something so I can finish painting so I can touch these guys without having to worry about the paint coming off. So this is just going over as much of the very tippy top of everything as possible. She has a lot of flat surfaces that are facing straight up into the air, which kind of makes it hard. I was trying to dry brush her just like I did for Fifth Brother, but for some reason the paintbrush was not removing as much paint as I thought it was. So she got a very heavy coating of blue. Again, not a terrible thing. I kind of like it on her, but at the same time, she's more blue than gray now. So I take some white, and they both have these little Imperial logos on their shoulders. So at first I just try being very careful and trying to get into the Imperial area. But then I realized I'm better off just dry brushing it. Take as much paint off as I can, and Yeah. There we go. After a whole bunch of passes over it, and removing as much white as I can, you can start to see, there we go. You can see it starting to appear. And then I go to the other side. And then his, since they're bigger, it's a lot easier to see. And that's one. And that's two. And that's it. Alright, and now I mix up some gunmetal and some actual matte black to get the armor. Oh, do I do her face? I do her face. This is where everything starts to go very, very poorly. Oh, I'm doing his face first. Yeah, things don't go well from this point on as far as like face is concerned. I don't know if it's the dark tone kind of seeped weird or what, but he has these like black, well, you can see he's got these weird black like ridges on his face. And even after I color in his eyes, they still kind of have these massive black rings. So I'm just doing a little bit of highlighting on his most raised parts of his skin. Stuff that would usually catch some light. And then I try to do his eyes. And this is where I think I screwed up really bad. So I try to remove as much of the white as I can. And then he has white shark-like teeth, so that's why I did that. Let me tell you, sometimes it might just be better not to paint the color into the eyes. You'll see on Rex that I chose not to do that just because it looks so much better. So this, I'm trying to add irises and all that. Yeah, I don't think these look great. You can barely even see what I did to his face on the camera here. It just does not want to focus. Alright, so after that fiasco, next I'm mixing up some paint to actually color the armor properly now. He says, hoping that this is what he's doing. You can see I'm actually mixing the paint on the left there. And then I'm going to take off a whole bunch of the actual paint on the brush and then just kind of paint over all the blue armor. Honestly, I think this made it look so much better. This way, it's not like a pure black, it's not like a silver, and it's definitely not blue. It's got this weird in-between coloring. And it contrasts so well with the fabric. There we go. And it's very similar to his actual armor coloring. At least that I'm used to seeing. It's been such a long time since I did a lightsaber paint, which you'll see is the next thing that we work on. So of course I'm going to do the same thing for all her medals. Yeah, as you can see, I kind of went a little overboard with her blue tones. Sorry, I went silent. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm like fighting this cold and it's putting me to sleep watching this. So, I'm touching up all of the armor in that same metallic black. And then I'm trying to bring out her skin tone a little bit more again. Again, I think I just did this whole thing with her face poorly. If I have time, I'll go back. I'm going to go back and fix both of their faces because, yeah, like hers literally just is so dark. And like I said, I might just not do the eyes again because I think that's where I screwed up. Let me know what you guys think. If I screwed up on that or if it was just fine or what. And also let me know if you guys want me to go back on to some of these other ones because there are some changes I'm thinking of making to a couple of them just to clean them up a little bit nicer. Let me know if you really would want me to, like, you would want to see me do that or if you know, you're good with what I left you with. Yeah, I went a little too light on her face at this point. So, coming down to the end here. Which means it's mostly just going to be detailing in the lightsaber blades. Getting those all ready to go. I just tried to clean it up a little bit more from my mistakes. Didn't really work. I don't know how people do it. Either I just have no patience or no good good equipment for stuff that small or what? Because to me, it's like it's futile to keep going and trying to do it. Okay, so now with the lightsabers, I play around a little bit. I use pure red for this. And then I end up mixing some white and getting a very interesting result. So the trick is, because it's so red, I basically had to put this color down and then let it sit and dry for a couple of minutes. And that could have also just been my fault, because I may have put too much on the brush. Basically now I take some white, and I wanted it to be like almost white at the ends, which is why you can see what I'm doing. I'm not gonna lie, this was like the hardest thing to do. Because getting that nice soft white that also gives it a red glow, like, you have to be very careful about how you put it on. But I think that turned out fairly well. And yeah, so I'm, other than the face, I honestly think this turned out fairly good. And the end of her lightsaber, her one side ended up kind of getting a little weird, because it was a test. But yeah, that will just about do it, guys. Stay tuned, because I'm pretty sure, like I said, both this and Rex are supposed to come out on the same day. So, as long as something unexpected doesn't happen, they will both be ready today, and just be hitting, being sent out at slightly different times. So, one last quick inspection, see if there's anything else I want to do. I just touched up the shoulder, pauldron, name thing, whatever you want to call it, on both of them, just to really try and make it pop a little bit more. And let's get into the final verdict. There we are. So, this was fourth sister and fifth brother. Again, she turned out a little bit more blue than I cared for, but overall not terrible. And from this angle, you can't really see how bad I screwed up the face, which, in my opinion, is a plus. Yeah. And then there's fifth brother. I didn't realize how slow he actually does weigh a little bit more, I guess. So that's why it's rotating a little bit slower than her. But that will do it, guys. Next time, we'll see where we're at. Till then, Ronan will.
Later.